Today I'm diving into the Chargers cap situation after the first 2 weeks of free agency. I'm going to break down where their spending's at and what it all means heading into the 2025 NFL Draft. What's up, Chargers fans? Welcome to the NFL Playbook Chargers. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This channel is all about breaking down everything you need to know about the Bolts. Now, if you've been watching the Chargers the last few years, especially last season, you know Joe Hortiz and the crew don't sit still. They grabbed Poona Ford late, signed J.K. Dobbins. I'm betting they're not done yet. Probably still sniffing around for some free agents before and after the draft. Some decent names are still out there, not huge blockbuster guys you're dropping big cash on, but that's why I wanted to pull this cap overview together. Let's see where the Chargers stand after the big free agency checks have been written. So I've got over the cap pulled up here, and it's showing the Chargers sitting at about $30.87 million in salary cap space right now. That number is not 100% spot on, though. If you scroll down, Tony Jefferson's name isn't even on the roster list yet, and he just re-signed. Everyone else's cap hit is in there, but Jefferson's missing. Now, he's probably looking at a veteran deal around 1.1 or 1.2 million. Last year his cap hit was 1.2, so I'd guess it's something close to that again. So the thing is, his exact number is a little fluid. Depends on if he's in the top 51 roster spots, which affects offseason cap space. Right now, he'd count against it. Last year, Tony bounced between the practice squad and active roster, so his contract shifted week to week based on that. Makes his cap hit tricky to pin down. Could change if he sticks on the active roster all year or not. At this point in his career, he's shown he's cool with that flexibility, hopping between the main squad and practice squad after making the initial roster. We'll see how it shakes out, but let's say he's 1.2 million. Take 30.87 million, subtract 1.2, and you're looking at roughly 29.67 million in cap space. That's the updated total, just under 30 million give or take, depending on where Jefferson's deal lands. Now that's not the full picture. The Chargers have to think about their draft picks, they've got 10 this year, and their in-season budget. Different folks estimate that stuff differently. Daniel Popper over on his Substack, he usually pegs the in-season budget around 8 million. For the draft with those 10 picks, he's got it at about 3.2 million. That draft number could shift, though. Say the Chargers trade up in the second round, ditch their fourth rounder. Now they're at 9 picks, so that budget shrinks a bit since they're signing one less guy. Or if they trade back, grab an extra 5th or 6th. Now they're at 11 picks, and that budget ticks up slightly. That's something we might see play out during the draft, but for now, let's roll with 3.2 million for the draft and 8 million for in-season moves. Add those together, that's 11 million. Take our 29.67 million after Jefferson, subtract 11, and the Chargers are left with just under 20 million. Call it 18 or 19 million in pure spending space for free agents. But hold up, it's not that simple yet. There's Rashawn Slater to think about. Over on Over the Cap, he's listed as a free agent in 2026, and an extension's coming. We've been chatting about Slater all offseason. When's it going to happen? Nothing's close right now, and I don't think it has to be. Looking back, the Chargers signed Justin Herbert's extension in July 2023. Joey Bosa and Keenan Allen got theirs in July or August 2020, around training camp. That's the timeline they like to follow. So when that Slater deal hits, it'll shake up the 2025 cap space. I get this question a lot, like, oh, that 20 or 30 million they've got, that's just for Slater, right? Nah, not this year. His extension would kick in 2026. Right now, his 2025 cap hits sitting at 19.04 million. If they extend him, that number drops. Look at his draft classmate, Penei Sewell. His fifth-year hit was around 19.5 million, then dropped to 9.54 million after his extension. Slater's could save 10 or 11 million in 2025 whenever it gets done. So if they're at 18 or 19 million in spending space now, tack on 10 or 11 million from Slater in July or August, and suddenly they've got more breathing room. Not saying they'll go wild on free agents, but it could mean extra cash for trades, like that Elijah Molden move before the season, or stuff at the deadline. I don't think they're banking that Slater money for free agents, though. They know it's coming, so they're not sweating the 18 or 19 million they've got now. The free agent market's not screaming for a 20 or 30 million splash anyway. They'll probably make a few smaller signings here and there, but nothing major's jumping out. Okay, now let's dig into that cap calculator a bit more. They could restructure Justin Herbert or Derwin James to free up space, but they don't need to right now. Herbert's just starting his extension so they can shuffle money around later if they want. Derwin's going to need a new deal eventually, but that's down the road. For now, the Chargers are sitting at just under 20 million in pure spending space, or around 29 to 30 million total cap space once Jefferson's deal posts. It's not a game changer, but they've got some room to play with. So I hit up PFF to see who's still out there in free agency. Let's run through some names. Obviously, we've hit a few on the show already. It's not fully updated because Stephon Diggs just signed with New England. Jameis Winston's off the board too. Not that the Chargers were chasing him, but there's still some guys worth a look. First up, Amari Cooper. It's been quiet on his front. Nobody's talking about his market. He's an older receiver, and with Mike Williams already on the outside, I think the Chargers would rather grab a younger guy in the draft. If his price dropped low enough, maybe they'd bite, but I'm not holding my breath. There's some retirement chatter online about him too. If he signs anywhere, it'll probably be post-draft. I'd be shocked if the Chargers went for it now or even later unless the draft flops on receivers. Another name, Asante Samuel Jr. He's still out there, not coming back to the Chargers. I think he visited the Cardinals, but it's been dead quiet since. That's not great for the Chargers' comp pick hopes. His contract size could mess with that formula. PFF had him at 3 years, $14.5 million a year before free agency, which always felt high for a guy with shoulder issues and a weird fit. Too small for outside corner, not a slot guy either. We'll see where he lands. Then there's Keenan Allen, everybody's favorite topic. Mike Williams was up at the podium talking about wanting him back, saying he's recruiting him. Keenan's market's worth watching. PFF had him at $12.5 million a year, but I'm not sure he's getting that now. Stephon Diggs just got $23 million from the Patriots, but they were desperate. Keenan's coming off a down year in Chicago. Still a solid player, though. Problem is, if you've got Ladd McConkey in the slot where he's best, Keenan can't play there as much. He did 50% of his snaps outside in Chicago and can handle it, but at almost 33, his sweet spot's the slot, like Cooper Kupp's 65% last year. If the Chargers had drafted a big outside guy like Malik Neighbors or Brian Thomas last year, Keenan might fit better. Right now, he'd steal slot snaps from Ladd, and I don't think they want that. If Keenan took a cheap deal, say $5 million guaranteed, up to $9 million with incentives, maybe they'd bend. But if he's chasing max money for 1 or 2 years, I don't see him back. Money's been a big deal for him lately. Remember his trade to Chicago over a pay cut. If his market's soft and he'd take less, it's possible. He lives in California, loves LA, best buds with Mike Williams. Still, the cash and the scheme make it a long shot. Now, Calais Campbell, here's a guy I'm pumped about. People ask where the Chargers' pass rush is coming from with Deshaun Hand, Otito Agbonia, Tuli Tuipulotu. They lost Poona Ford and Morgan Fox, 57 pressures between them last year. Campbell had 39 pressures alone last season, more than Poona or Tuli, and he's turning 39 soon. At 40, if he's still giving you 40 pressures, that's a no-brainer. A 1-year, $3 million deal? Sign him up. He'd bring some serious juice to that D-tackle room. He might want to chase a ring elsewhere, and at his age, maybe he skips full training camp. But if he's still playing, he's a fit. That's a move I'd love. Answers a lot of questions up front before the draft. That's the rundown, folks. Chargers have just under $20 million to spend, $29 to $30 million total cap space. They're not done yet. Could grab a guy like Calais Campbell or a cheap receiver. So what do you think? Share your thoughts in the comment section.